Hi guys, and welcome to another video. I know it has been a few days, but yeah, I was busy with some other things like the OnePlus 2 videos and the Toshiba review, but I'm back again. And this show, like this random rambling, is supposed to be something really laid back, and actually I am laid back. I am laid back here in this chair, have my feet up on the table. And what I want this show to actually be, I don't want this to be like the newest news or the newest rumors and all that and talk about. It is more something to, because someone sometimes later at night or just when I wake up or so, I want to hear something or someone talking about tech, maybe in the background actually, and just chime in a little bit, not really stress myself, just hear a little bit something about tech that could be interesting at some point. And this is what I'm trying to do right now, and this is how I'm doing it right now, because I'm just chilled and I will talk about it. And maybe some of you like this kind of format, and if you want to see it, maybe because it would fit more in a podcast format, if this video gets 100 likes, I might consider it, but no one's fooling anyone, so that won't happen anyway. So the Huawei Nexus. I think we have to talk about it. We had the newest leaks showing up, and yeah, I think I was shocked as anyone else, because no one expected a hump on the complete back on the of the width of the device. Everyone expected like a small camera hump or something like that. And sawing or just reviewing right now the Huawei Ascend Mate 7, I'm not quite sure what the intent of that is. There are two benefits of it. The one is, if it's the whole length width of the device, at least it won't wobble once it is on the table with this elevated camera. That is okay. And the second thing is, at least if you take it out of your pocket, or sometimes this happens quite often to me because of the omni-balance design of the Sony, that I grab it and have it the other side around in my hand. This won't be possible on the Huawei Nexus 6 if it will look like this. But of course we have caveats. The first one is it looks fucking ugly. It just looks completely, I don't know. And actually someone posted a pic today. It looks like back then a Motorola Droid which had the same thing, and but that one didn't look as out of place as it does with the Nexus 6. So I'm not quite sure. It looks ugly, and I'm not quite sure. It also looks a little bit too big, but the front is okay, but it looks very long. So let me know what you think, because we had this discussion already on G Plus, but I would still like to know what you think, and if you are still interested, because the newest rumors again say the Snapdragon 810. Yeah, I think everyone knows what I think of it by now. My final conclusion is, don't buy a device with it. No, really, don't do it, because you have way more downsides than upsides. Not worth it. So, the next topic would be, why or what do people need two or more phones for? Because I don't quite get it. I had this same thinking right now, because I have already one, and I thought about, or I actually did already order the OnePlus 2, but then I thought, I have already one phone. I just don't need to, because I am a one kind of device person. I don't have any device two times or more if I don't have any specific purpose. Because, for example, I have two monitors, because one is to see my footage of one cam, and the other one is for editing or seeing the footage of the other cam while recording. But otherwise I wouldn't do that. I also have just one device, my projector, to watch movies or so on. I have one PC, I have one tablet, I have one laptop. I have nothing twice, because why would I have two? If it would be actually two things, then it would be, for me at least, have to be two times the same thing. Because whenever I have two things, I always would end up using the better one. And I see a lot of people having two or three phones, but for maybe a different purpose. Okay, I get it if one is for business, one is for private life. But so many people have like one flagship device, and then they have like a burner phone or something like that. So I don't quite get why, because if I have one that does everything, lasts me through the day, why would I need another one? And I would like to really know from you, do you have two phones or so? And what do you do? What do you need two phones for? Okay, I get it. If you are a real big tech geek, then you want to have more. If you are a ROM developer, and so I get it. But for just a normal average techie, what's the purpose of two phones? Because I personally can't do anything with that. The next topic would be Windows scaling is still pathetic, even on first-party apps, and maybe especially on third-party apps. I mean first-party apps. Because the thing is, right now I have the Dell XPS 13 for a re-review because one of my viewers asked me for that, and I was interested in trying the higher res version anyways, and I noticed it once again. It comes with a resolution or scaling of 250%. This means every pixel that is usually 1 pixel is now 2.5 pixels. And 2.5, I think you already get it, will look blurry because it's not even a even number, 2.5. So definitely things that don't scale properly look very blurry or fuzzy. And the things that don't scale at all look completely tiny. And that is, for example, what I don't get on first-party apps. Just check Windows Media Player, the controls, or VLC player, or anything like that that doesn't scale, that stays 1 pixel, no matter if you do 250%. And everything is super tiny. If I go bigger, it gets bigger, but then everything is just out of place. So it looks completely wrong. And we are in 2015 now. We have Windows 10, and we had this issue already on Windows 7, 8, and on 10 it should have been fixed. And what I read somewhere, that every app in Windows 10 is supposed to be customizable. You can choose for every app which scaling you want, if you know how to achieve that, because I never saw any option of that, because so many, especially the media player, looks completely unusable for me. If you want to use touch with a mouse, it works, but still, either it's fuzzy, either it's too big, either it's blurry. It's horrible. The fourth topic for today would be Fanboys, and I already briefly mentioned or talked about that on G+. I'm not going in any further, I'm just saying those kind of people. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything else because no. It was definitely not as bad as I made it sound on my G+ post. But still thinking about it, it is just a piece of tech. Is that worth it? And I also think, why is the mobile industry, or especially smartphones, the one where you see the most fanboys arguing the most? Of course, you have this a little bit also on cars, because at work I have a big Mercedes kind of fanboy. His last 4 or 5 cars were all Mercedes, and he brags about it. But that's not close to what comes to smartphones, because if someone would have something else, he wouldn't trash his, or okay, he does this a little bit, but it's not in the kind why it happens on mobile phones. And I guess a little bit of a reason for that is the reason that more not quite matured people are having a phone. And this doesn't mean that it has to be children or kids or teens. It can also be adults, because I specifically said people that are maybe matured enough, and I don't want to get into or populate any specific kind of people, not kids like 10 or 12-year-olds or 30 years old. They can be both as dumb, completely on the same level. You don't have to, it's not like you are mature just because you are an adult. You can, but it doesn't have to mean you aren't mature because you are a kid. There are kids that are maybe 14, 15 years old that are way more mature than a 30-year-old person, because some people are just, not fully developed, maybe, or something like that. And once again, I don't want to attack anyone, but I think that is the case, because everyone has a phone, everyone has an opinion, and if you are, it sounds asshole, it sounds asshole, like if you aren't fully developed, you get way too far about technology. The last topic before I get to the word of the day would be why I make long and possibly boring reviews. The reason for me, it was always why or how I did my videos, how I did my reviews. And I know sometimes they aren't maybe beautiful to watch or interesting to watch, but that's not the main purpose. I do them for delivering information for you to make a well-informed buying decision. And just today I saw a review about the phone. I watched it. It was a couple of minutes long, and I watch it, and then afterwards I felt like I wasted my time. Yes, it was very nicely done, great visual effects, nice transitions, nice panning and zooming, but that is if I want to be entertained, if I want to look at something nice. But if I want to make a well-informed buying decision, this video was, at least for me, useless. I didn't get any proper information on battery life. That was so briefly handled that it was absolutely worthless. And then it goes into too much depth onto fun other things. And after the video, I didn't feel like I know more than I did on any hands-on review or hands-on video, any first impressions video. I didn't get any more of that. I just saw more nicely done footage. And I always maybe don't, because no, I'm not saying that every like scripted review with those nice and bad doesn't deliver you, because there are a lot of them that really provide you nice amount of information, really also a few little details and all that. And those are properly done, they are great. But personally, I don't do these because I think a scripted review, for me personally, is just too much work. It needs too much time. I don't really have the skills for that. I don't have the artistic or cinematic skill in my head. I just don't have the eye for that. And that's why I said I will stay with something easy to do, easy to watch, that always is pretty much the same, that makes my reviews between each other easier comparable, because I have always the same categories, always the same things I talk about. But what is for me important, I talk about the things that are for me personally, what I would like to know if I would have wanted the phone. If I want the phone, I want to know how does it feel in hand. I want to really know how it feels, not just say me, yeah, it lies nice in the hand. I want to know the few little gripes, if it's somewhere edgy, if the curves are well done and so on. If the battery life, I want more specifics. I want to see some numbers, and I totally get it. Everyone has different battery life, but I want to see at least your use case scenarios and your results, so I can maybe compare them with mine. And also, so for example, software is something I don't really touch on too much, because it is software and you probably have seen it somewhere already. I don't like to talk about software because I can't really cover that well. That's why I mostly skip that and go more into the hardware, because software is always the least important factor, because it is like it is. You see it once and you know pretty much. If you have one Samsung device, you know pretty much how well the others will perform, or an LG phone or a Sony. So that's why I don't really cover that too much. And yes, that could be boring. Maybe yes, that's not up for me to decide. I like them the way I do them. I am happy with the outcome. I would sometimes wish for a little bit more of a interesting shot of it. But like I said, it would be maybe like double or 3 times the amount of effort that I would have to put in for maybe 10 or 20% more of a better video. And that's not worth it and not feasible for me, because like I said, I do this all in my free time. And usually if I don't have like 2 weeks off right now, I do these reviews in my free time, and then mostly it's the weekend where I have the time. Okay, to make to the last point, the word of the day. It is pineapple. And why did I choose pineapple? Because in my Twitter feed, I think it was 2 days ago, I saw someone posting, whoever got to name the pineapple made a terrible decision. And here's my answer on that, before I'm going to answer you what it means in German. Because pineapple, it is kind of the apple of the pine like a tree or something, and that is the fruit of it. At least that makes sense. In Germany, pineapple means ananas. And that word on its own doesn't have any meaning. And if you would split it like in Anna and Nas, also has no meaning. So whoever named that did even worse. And I don't know who had dips on the word, whoever found and had dips on the word that could name it, or what maybe the scientific name is. But at least yours makes more sense, pineapple, and it sounds okay, than ananas. That doesn't give me anything, doesn't mean anything. Or everybody knows what it means, of course, yes, but yeah. So much for the tweet. That is the word of the day. I am relaxed. I hope you are still too. Until next time, I see you. Wow, I'm rhyming really well. Yeah. Oh yeah, and don't forget, please give it a like, reshare it, which would be really nice, just to get more people involved. And like always, the comments. Bye.